no problems until we got to popcorn. So beans are all done. We're back at the shop, getting fuel, switching to popcorn. Got to clean everything out. So we got to get all the beans out of the combine. We just finished cleaning everything out of the grain cart, and we got to clean all the trucks down. Can't have anything but popcorn in there. First thing is I'll open the elevator doors, run a little grain, let stuff get cleaned out, get all the beans out of there, and then we'll close them up. And now that there's a little grain in the tank for a final flush out, bring out the auger, and we'll just feed the wildlife here. Just be a little flush of beans. Yep, can see a little different color there. Beans are out. Have fun with that, deer. So now we're all clean. All the equipment's clean. So we're getting the field opened up a bit. I'm calibrating the yield monitor. Taking one last weight, get that dialed in, and we'll have a truckload, be off to the races. Running good now. Second truck is getting loaded and shipping out. Now we go straight to the plant this year. Sometimes we go to a storage only place, but this year we're not. So it's about an hour there. This place is about an hour 40 minutes. So barring a big line at the processing plant, it's about a 4-hour turnaround on a truck. So first one leaves, expect it back in about 4 hours. Working on filling the other two. Then normally I run out of trucks and I will fill the grain cart with a truckload, and sometimes I sit for a half hour, an hour before the next truck comes back. Repeat until popcorn's done. We'll see what their moisture tester says after we get a couple trucks back. Ours, I bumped the combine up 0.5% to kind of match it. So you can see we're running 14s on all my different loads, which is good. They want it between 14 and 17. I believe if we're between 14 and 14 and a half, we get a little bonus on that truckload. So if my moisture sensor is right, then yeah, a little extra payment there. So I said I run the deck plates as tight as I can. I have been having trouble with stalks piling up on the head and not feeding in. Maybe because the deck plates are too tight, so they're not getting pulled through. I'm gonna look here. I just ran a pass with them opened up to the lowest setting besides 0, and I didn't have any problems that pass. What the problem is, deck plate, that's what snaps your ear off, and with popcorn you can pull it right through. Might get a little butt shelling there, set on 1 because it could be a little tighter. But my yield didn't change. I've seen that before. If you open them too wide, your yield goes down because the ear goes right through the head and not in the machine. So I will look behind me here, see if I'm finding any header loss, and if not, I will keep it opened up a little bit. Little baby test plot combine there in the distance. 2 rows at a time, 20 feet and stop. Go another 20 feet and stop. All trucks are all full and on the road. I guess the first one just got there. Said there's a wreck over on I-69. We're going clear over by Marion, Indiana, clear on the east side of the state to Van Buren. So we're full. We're going to go to dinner, I guess. Me and Jamie, cart driver. And walking down the road, there's my buddy Liam. I'll bet he'd be watching this when it's on YouTube. He rides with me. His little brother is in the grain cart. Saw the school bus come, so I knew he'd show up soon. So he come right away. So we're gonna go eat. Maybe 2-3 hours before we get a truck. Fill them all up tonight. Head out early in the morning. It's been a couple hours. I'll have a truck here in about 30 minutes now. Cart's already loaded, so that truck will just fill and go on home. Then we can start filling the cart for the next truck and get the other one. I am up in the combine right now. Keeps giving me low coolant warnings. This is like the 3rd time it's done it. We've put 3 gallons in it during harvest this year. I'm not seeing anything wet anywhere. The overflow tank is right in here, and it is at the very bottom of the tank. We had when we started it before harvest, it was puking coolant everywhere, but there's 2 little hoses from the overflow tank right here. Look like a mouse had eaten them, but we replaced those. Nothing is wet anywhere, so I'm not sure where the coolant's going, my oil is exactly full every morning, and it is now, so it's not going in with the oil, so that's good. I just kind of wonder, it doesn't run hot at all. It runs very, very cool. It's mostly just annoying because if it gets below that minimum fill, the combine likes to remind me like all the time that it's low on coolant. So I don't know, hopefully we can figure that out, but I don't see any leaks anywhere. Last round for the night, down and back. That'll fill the last truck, just showed up. So all 3 trucks will be full. They'll head out early in the morning. I will do some combine work and fill the grain cart in the morning and get a full day of popcorn in tomorrow. Yeah, I know, you can quit telling me about it. Look how hot it's running. The middle bar there. It's like as hot as it ever gets. I think you'll be fine until I get you a new hose tomorrow. Stand corrected, I did find my coolant leak. I don't see anything wet because it's hitting the hot engine and just drying out. That is the brand new line I put on, and there's a tiny little hole in it right there. And I remember when I put it on, I got a little longer hose than it had before, so I think I can just cut that off. I have enough slack. So maybe that'll fix my coolant issue. So I just put that shield back on. Ended up being both hoses that come out of the little overflow tank there. So that one back on, gave myself some slack if it happens again. And there's also one back in there. You can see maybe the little splice on it. That was up by the tank and I just moved it. I found that one was leaking as well. Hopefully the fire engine isn't leaking. I haven't figured out how to get to it yet, but I also thought that splice was up here close to the coolant tank, and it's 2 different colors on each half, so I was thinking it may actually be a check valve, but I don't know if it hurts being a little farther down the line. But it's back together. Dad's bringing me a gallon of coolant. Hopefully we get back to work here. The trucks are a little less than an hour away. Get them reloaded for day 2. Now that truck's about loaded. I was wrong. I loosened it. I do not have enough slack to get past that, but I think I can run tonight because I haven't been overheating or anything, unless I'm causing it to leak more by messing with it. But I'll fire it up, watch it, see if it's leaking or not. So I'm a little behind schedule this morning. That repair took longer than I thought. So first truck's about 10 minutes away. I wanted to have the grain cart loaded before I got here. So just making my first round. So when I get to the end here, I'll have a third of a truckload. So I got to make 3 rounds. Won't take too long, but a little bit behind schedule, maybe a half hour behind schedule, and then the other truck's right behind him, so I'll be getting it loaded as quick as I can. First dump of the day. Well, fix the coolant problem, then I got a clean grain elevator speed sensor problem. I'm guessing because that flange has no bolts in it is my issue. At the shop, so I need 3 carriage bolts, and it looks like nuts with flanges on them based on the marks on the combine. I hope these aren't too long, because if they are too long, they will hit that wheel that the speed sensor reads. So I'll see if I can find some slightly shorter ones, but we'll see. So we're operational, but not fixed yet. See, I'm harvesting corn. If I look behind me through the window, there's corn going in the grain tank. But my yield monitor's not working. I'm just harvesting 0 pounds per acre all the time. I still, you can see that flashing, I still have the warning for the speed. So I'm thinking maybe when that got loose, the sensor got damaged. I'd go back a little closer at the wiring, but maybe the sensor got damaged. We are effectively harvesting corn, we're just not getting any good data out of it. Well, Deer said try unplugging the batteries for 15 minutes, so we did that. Still not recording that anything's coming in the combine or getting any moisture readings. You can see red on the yield map is 0, so I've mapped all that without getting any data. Still can harvest, so doing that, but I don't know. found something else. I see now, so I'm still recording no yield, but yeah, you can see where that spinning around took a hunk, or at least pushed in the sensors. So I will go to town now I've got trucks back on the road and get a sensor, and hopefully my yield monitor comes back. 74,000 pounds of popcorn waiting for a truck to show up. Well, 60,000 pounds of it is. The other 14 will go on the next truck. Broken wire right there. Good news, we're in the river bottom now. Wabash River's right over on the other side of those trees. Yield monitor is working. Moisture sensor is working. When I fixed it with that new sensor the other day and I found a broken wire, yeah, I did a poor job fixing that broken wire. I went back and looked at it just to check. My little splice fell apart. One of those like little heat shrink solder connectors. I really like those. Just that was a really small wire in a tight space, and I think I didn't let it cool down before I put the wire loom back over it and everything, and it kind of came apart. So this one, I redid it. I let it cool down for a few minutes before I put things back together, so it was a more rigid connection. So everything is working now. That's good. Except when I was walking around the combine, I saw a couple wet areas. I think I have to replace the rest of that coolant hose that I couldn't reach the other day and spliced. And there's some stuff coming down the back. Maybe I have a fuel leak somewhere. I don't know. No problems until we got to popcorn. Don't think I'm moving that one by hand. Gonna have to go around. So there's the river out there. This field has trees all the way around, so on this side I'm taking the second header pass in. That way I got a way out. When I come back along the trees, there's low-hanging trees up. There's a branch down right there, so I know I'll have to go out and around. So instead of knocking these rows of corn over, trying to go around stuff, I'll have a clear path over here. And the grain cart doesn't have to follow me and run right up against the trees. Yeah, that'll take some cleaning up, but take this inside path, give me a little leeway to work around the edges. So it looks like our furry friends have been using this as a transportation highway of sorts. You know, popcorn on there, a restroom stop right there, hauling that corn into the woods across the tree trunk. 2 truckloads for this Sunday is enough. Truck's ready to go out tomorrow morning. Shut things down here in a second. We got somebody turning 9 years old in our house today. Hey, be quiet. We got somebody turning 9 years old in our house today, so we got to go have a trampoline park party. Well, today we're getting started late in the day, and we're down to our last 20 acres of popcorn. I'm full down here in the river bottom, waiting for the grain cart to show up. Got my auger out, waiting for it. So all that you see here is all the popcorn that's left. Hey, big tree's cleaned up already. Jerry that lives down here must have come and cleaned it up. He's worked for us in the past and is our landlord as well. So, tree all gone, back in the woods. Fold up my corn head, dump the last little bit of popcorn, and we'll head back up the hill through the woods out of the river bottom. Start denting corn tomorrow.